Good morning นะครับ everyone how
Good
you this
morning ค่ะ
morning ครับ how you this morning ครับ are you good
Good ค่ะ
fully wake up already right
Yes
yeah that's good ครับ alright นะครับ so today we are going to continue talking about the Microsoft Excel นะครับ alright let me have the short recap for the last class a little bit for the Microsoft Excel นะครับ alright Okay, so on the last class, we talk about the software that we have to use for the first part นะครับ um, I mean before midterm นะครับ we have to use the software that is Microsoft Excel นะครับ and on the last class we created one file that is called as Microsoft sorry that is called as my first book ครับ okay so when we start Excel ครับ on the last class you can see that we sorry let me just close my file first okay on the last class when we start Microsoft Excel we get the first screen that look like this okay this is the first screen for Microsoft Excel we begin with a blank workbook นะครับ in Microsoft Excel a file in Excel we call it as a workbook นะครับ while a page on Microsoft Excel we call it as a worksheet in one file or in one workbook Microsoft Excel can have like more than one page นะครับ each page we call it as a worksheet or a sheet you can see on the bottom part of the screen นะครับ on the left side you see a tab the default tab for each workbook นะครับ we begin with like one sheet first but if you would like to have more you can click to add more sheets if you would like to and then if you don't want to have that sheet anymore you can delete that sheet as well นะครับ if the sheet that you create is a blank sheet once you would like to delete Excel will not ask you for anything you can delete straight away นะครับ you can click right click on the sheet tab and then choose delete it deletes automatically but if you have some data inside นะครับ for example in sheet 3 I type something นะครับ in the sheet already and when I would like to delete Excel will ask for the confirmation นะครับ okay it will be like this and the way in order to shuffle the sheet is that you can drag นะครับ in between the sheet tab นะครับ so that you can reorder the sheet and also in each sheet you can rename the sheet as well by double click on the sheet tab นะครับ on the sheet name and rename it as you want นะครับ or you can just right click on the sheet tab and then choose rename so you can rename the sheet straight away นะครับ apart from that one okay when we finish everything and we would like to save our last class I said that okay we um, had to save the file like this นะครับ choose the destination if you some of you may have the question like what is the OneDrive if you save what's going on these this kind of thing you will save it as the file on the cloud drive นะครับ so that means you can use this file anywhere นะครับ if you connect to the internet but in this class we save on our file นะครับ on our local hard drive นะครับ and on the last class I told you that we have to create a folder นะครับ to save the file try not to save it on the desktop นะครับ you should just like do it as the habit because when you go back to the university นะครับ our computer lab will wipe out all the files in desktop automatically or on C drive automatically once you leave the computer and somebody else just like restart the computer so in this one I save it on the I create my folder and save it in my folder okay I name it as the what to say the file that is called as my first book นะครับ The file type that you have to save, this is important as well, because when you save the file นะครับ once you choose Excel workbook, it will be automatically save that file on the current version of Excel นะครับ um, that means if you would like to give this file to other people นะครับ who use older version of Excel นะครับ older version in here means that the version that is older than 2010 นะครับ once you save you have to choose Excel 97 to 2003 นะครับ because the format will be different นะครับ um, apart from that one นะครับ you have to be careful that if you use the file that is older than 2010 นะครับ to open your file or you save it as um, Excel 97 to 2003 already some features นะครับ that you save in your workbook นะครับ might be downgrade to the older version นะครับ so you have to be careful if you have the file นะครับ especially for the visualization part in 2010 version onward นะครับ they have data visualization part but before that they don't have if you downgrade the file to be the older version all the visualization that you create will be removed นะครับ okay right on the last class when we save the file already นะครับ okay let me just open the file that I used on the last class okay we created a file called my first book นะครับ and we rename the worksheet as revenue 2020 นะครับ so let me just like talk a bit more about the components นะครับ of the Microsoft Excel นะครับ worksheet on the top part it is title bar นะครับ right now it is called as my first book dash Excel that means the file here นะครับ or the workbook here is my first book is opening by using Excel นะครับ the color green here represents Excel นะครับ for Microsoft Word it is blue color while PowerPoint is in orange color นะครับ so the next one is the menu bar each menu has a ribbon นะครับ and the ribbon stores all the buttons นะครับ that you use or that they just like classify them in each group already นะครับ below the ribbon it has the name box that specify the location of the cursor that you are using or that you are at right now นะครับ in each box นะครับ inside this table it is called as a cell นะครับ so name box tell us about the cell that cursor is at so for example our active cell is at for example in here right now if I click on here นะครับ on this cell the cell location can be identified by using the column นะครับ and the row we call that cell with a column first by the column first so this is column E row 1 so this cell active cell is located at cell E1 นะครับ it's specified in the name box already the next one this is insert function box นะครับ once you click on insert function it just
อา
pop
จารย์
up
คะ
yes ครับ hello yes ครับ
I โอเคค่ะโอเคค่ะ sorry previously I did not see your screen ค่ะ
oh so right now do you
Sir,
see
we
it
cannot see it frozen.
oh really so can you just
Your screen was frozen before while you were
Oh, yeah.
explaining.
right now is it okay
Can you
now
just re-explain?
so right now
โอ
can
เค
you
ค่ะ
see my screen
now โอเค
okay ครับ thanks for telling me นะครับ
yes ค่ะ
okay so right now we talking about like the components in Excel we talk about the menu bar the ribbon นะครับ and we talk about name box นะครับ the cell that we have and right now we are talking about the insert function once you click it lists out all the functions in Excel that we have you just type the name of the function นะครับ that you would like to have and then click go นะครับ it lists out a function that that is similar to or that is near or close to the name that you type in นะครับ and it just show the description นะครับ with the list of the arguments that I'll talk about later on นะครับ in here. And after that, on the right hand side, here is a formula bar. It shows a value that you really have or really type in each cell นะครับ After that, we talk about the worksheet นะครับ Inside the worksheet, it consists of cells นะครับ There are a million of cells that we have. In order to go to any cells นะครับ you can scroll up or down นะครับ left or right นะครับ by using scroll bar, or you can use the arrow key นะครับ to go up and down, left and right. And also you also have the shortcut in order to go to some cells that you want. So that means if you go to the cell Z200, you can type the location in the name box and then press enter นะครับ the cell, the active cell will go to the cell that you would like to have or you would like to go immediately นะครับ this is Z200, and then you can do anything as you want. If you would like to come back to the home page, or sorry, to the cell A1, there are a couple of ways to do. The first one, you may scroll นะครับ and then move the and click on the cell A1 straight away, or you can click on the name box and type A1. Or for the shortcut นะครับ on Microsoft Windows computer or on the Mac, if you plug in the keyboard นะครับ the regular keyboard, the full size keyboard, you can just like press Control and Home นะครับ to go back to the cell A1. So and after that we start entering the data นะครับ we start entering the data, and this was the data that we had on the last class. My voice is sluttling up. Hang on, let me just see นะครับ one we long. All right, Alex, thank you นะครับ if my voice is just like break up, just tell me again. So everyone right now, oh really, right now is it better or is still like break up? Let me just like check, just one belong นะครับ let me just check for you. So class, is it okay now? Okay, let me just like try to explain more first, and if there is the breaking up or the sound is lag, just let me know again นะครับ okay, so right now we talk about the what to say, we talk about the typing the data in the cell นะครับ on the last class we entered the data like this and I told you that whenever we would like to let Microsoft Excel นะครับ to autofill the data for you นะครับ the things that we have to do is that we have to type some series of data นะครับ first, for example, for the month, if you type Jan and Feb นะครับ the following months will follow นะครับ if you just like copy นะครับ or if you just drag the cell down there. So in this one นะครับ Excel will analyze that you are you want Excel in order to fill up นะครับ to autofill the data for you นะครับ and then you just drag this one, then you get the I'm sorry, you get the value นะครับ of the month from March to December. Okay, so before I re-explain that one, oh, it's still lag. I'm just wondering, let me just check this one once again. Is it still lag? Okay, not anymore. Okay ครับ let's see นะครับ let's continue. If it's break up, just tell me straight away, because now I'm just like opening the chat box as well นะครับ okay, so right now let's repeat about this one once again. I talk about autofill feature in Excel นะครับ For Microsoft Excel นะครับ it has the features that can autofill some data for us นะครับ if you have the data that Excel can analyze that it is the series นะครับ you can let Excel to fill up the data for you for example month นะครับ number นะครับ like running number or series of numbers quarters นะครับ these are like the values that Excel help to fill up for us for example if you enter January and February นะครับ in order to let Excel to fill up March to December for you you have to type at least 2 months for Excel first and after that you highlight both of them then once you highlight already on the bottom right corner of the box that you highlight you just drag it will fill up the rest of the month that you've got นะครับ in this one when I drag to 12 months it shows December but if I drag more it will restart January once again นะครับ this one is just in case that you would like to type something for more than 12 months นะครับ okay the next thing นะครับ number if you have number 1 number 2 so Excel will estimate that you would like to have number 3 4 5 and so on in the series so if you highlight these two numbers and drag it has numbers for you and if you drag more it has like many more numbers okay so after that if you don't have 1 2 3 but you got like 3 5 7 in this one you know that the next one should be 9 11 these are odd numbers or if you have 2 4 6 like this you have even numbers for you this one is the automatic fill for Microsoft Excel okay the next one I ask you to enter the numbers in here the numbers in here so for anyone who didn't come here on last class just type the tables like this and I can just like copy the number for you okay for the numbers that we've got okay let me just like clear this one first the number that we've got I would like you to enter just only the amount or the revenue in the plain number only that means you must not have special character like dollar sign like comma try not to have it because the way that we have to manage with these numbers is that we will format the cells instead of typing the number directly okay so what do I want you to do apart from having the revenue in here I want you to have one cell in this worksheet to type this value you type dollar sign 1 comma 250 comma 000 okay right okay just leave it like that first and then I'll show you something else later on now let's see for the revenue that we've got if you just type the number only we can format them to look like the currency like this how can we do that in order to have or to set up the values to look like a currency is that you have to highlight the cells that you would like to format them first after that we right click choose format cells and then we choose currency we choose the type of the or format of the value that you want right now we would like it to look like the currency then we just choose number of decimal places the symbol that you would like to use in this one if you would like to have the dollar sign you look for a dollar sign okay and after that you choose the negative numbers how negative numbers look like in this one if I say that if it is negative number I would like to have leading negative symbol and change the color of the font to be in red. Okay, in here. But if it is the positive one, it shows just like the regular one. In this one, here you get the currency values already. And right now it has 0.00. If you don't want it, you can just like reformat the cell once again, and then just like decrease the decimal points. In this one, I just like would like to tell you about the shortcut that we can just manage or format the cells as well. In order to format the cells easily, you can see that in the home tab, in the home menu, use in the ribbon of the home menu in terms of the number here. This is the formatting of the cell. Right now it is currency already because we just like choose currency in here. And then you can see that in here it has increased decimal. If you click, it will increase more decimal points for you, or if you don't want, you can just like decrease the decimal point as well. Okay, right. So the next thing that you have to know about like the shortcut for formatting the cell is here. If you would like to format, apart from clicking on the home tab and choose formatting the cell in here, you can highlight them. Right click, and this is the shortcut. It's here. You can increase or decrease number of decimal points. You can just like choose the some formatting in here as well. All right. For example, in here, you can just like choose the currency style, the currency symbol, and the comma, something like that. Okay. So apart from this one, what else do we need to know? You can see that right now in column C, it is just like very wide, while column B is very narrow. So you can see that some month names are just like overlapped by the column C's value. So we have the way in order to adjust the width of the column or the height of the cells. In order to make the size or the width of the column to be narrower or to be wider, firstly, you have to choose that column first. In order to choose the whole column, for setting up the width of the column, you go to the column name. You can see that the mouse pointer will be changed from the white cross to be the black down arrow. Just click. And when you click already, it's highlighted the whole column. On the right hand side, or the border of the column here, once you move the mouse pointer over the border of the right border of the column, you will see the two directional arrows instead. In here, if you drag, left click and drag it, then it will resize the width of the column, manually. Okay, that is the first way to set up the width of the column. Next, the next way in order to set up the width of the column is that you highlight the column, go to the right border, and then you double click on the right border of the column. It will be squeezed down in this case, because Excel will justify the size or the width of the column by its value. You can see that the maximum length of the values in this column is here, C4, revenue in US dollars. It's the widest one. So the width of the column will be justified by this cell. Okay. Now, this is the second way in order to adjust the width. The next way, you highlight the column first, right click and choose column width. This one you just enter the column width by yourself. This is points, 14.757 points in here. You can enter other numbers as well. Okay, so now everyone, you can see that for column A and column B, they are just like need to have like some width to be justified, just do it นะครับ in this case if column A you do the automatic justification of the width and it's too wide, you make it to be a bit narrower as well, because you can see that if you double click, the size should be justified by cell A2 because A2 is the widest cell นะครับ okay, but number 1, number 2 to number 12 doesn't need to have like so many width, something like that. For the height you can do the same thing นะครับ you can choose the row that you would like to set up the height, and then you can drag, you can double click, or you can right click and choose row height นะครับ it's the same thing. Alright, in order to set up the width or the height, you can choose for more than one consecutive rows or columns นะครับ for example, if I want column B and column C to be wider and I want them to be in the same width, I highlight both of them first and then I start dragging. So right now column B and column C, the width will be the same นะครับ so this one is good when you have like so many numbers in different columns and you want to make every column to have the same width นะครับ we do like this, or you may highlight them and then double click, it's the same thing นะครับ same as the rows, you can do the same thing as well. So right now นะครับ just a little bit, if you would like to insert any new column or any new row, the way that we have to do is that you go to for example, if you say that you want to have a new column between column A and column B, you just highlight the column นะครับ after the new column that you would like to have. For example, if you want to have a new column between A and B, so that means column B will be shifted, will move to the right hand side นะครับ so you choose column B, right click and then choose insert. The new column will be created in between column A and B, and the previous column B will be column C instead นะครับ while you have the new column B in here. Same as new row นะครับ for example, if you would like to have a row between row 4 and row 5, then you highlight row 5, right click and then choose insert as well. Then you have the new row between row 4 and row 5, and the previous row 5 data will be shift to one more row down นะครับ like this. Okay, now let's like delete them. I don't want the blank column or rows like this. Highlight column B นะครับ that we don't want the blank column, right click and then choose delete นะครับ row 5, choose delete. Okay, now we get just like the normal data already. So let's decorate the table a bit before we go to do the next thing นะครับ okay, I just paint it a bit and then just make it bold. Now if I want to make the border for this table, I highlight the whole table first, and then in the home tab we have the button to have or to make the border. You just click on the drop down list and then choose what type of border do you want to have. In here I want all border and I want outside border to be thick. Okay, like this. You can see that if you preview this file or this worksheets นะครับ in the print, you can see that outside border is thick and I have like every single border inside. Okay, right. Okay, so just a little bit more นะครับ if you preview it, you might see the dash line in here นะครับ similar to my one. The dash line here is just the guide to tell us that in one page what is or where is the border. If you fill up or if you enter some data up to, in my case it is up to column H นะครับ everything will still be in this page, but if you have some data in here it is on another page already. So if I preview, you can see that in here on page 1 I have just the table only, but some other data like tests or whatever thing it is on another page in here นะครับ okay so this is the border to tell us so after we just put the data already somebody asked me that how to bold the border to bold the border is here you just highlight นะครับ and then you just choose from home tab we go to the border นะครับ go to drop down list and then choose thick outside border in here is to bold the border okay right okay when we have this already the next thing that I want you to notice นะครับ is on the cell that I asked you to type $sign 1,250, double triple zero in here นะครับ I will drag this one to make it is wider นะครับ for this column just have a look for these two cells นะครับ C5 and J2 in here they look similar นะครับ because they have similar value but in C5 in here the value is right aligned while in J2 it's left aligned what's the difference นะครับ this one is so easy for you to notice next on if you have a currency and it's right aligned it is number นะครับ it's number or it's a real currency but if you have the currency like value but it's left aligned นะครับ without setting anything นะครับ without setting the alignment so this one with left align is the text what is different between text and currency or text and number currency is the calculatable value while text is not calculatable value so that means if you add this value นะครับ this J2 with some other values it shows the error because it's not the number นะครับ so this is one way to notice but sometimes if you set the alignment for example alignment is here นะครับ you go to home tab and then you can see that in the alignment it's here if you choose right align in here you don't know whether it is the number or the text นะครับ you have to just like check by using other ways instead okay right okay right now นะครับ we have the data already what's the next thing that we have to know the next thing that we have to know is that how do we gonna enter formula or calculation in Excel นะครับ I will just like show you the way in order to calculate these values นะครับ by using the basic calculation and by using the formula นะครับ so if I would like to find the total revenue นะครับ for the whole year 2020 the way that I have to do is that I have to add each month's revenue together right okay so you have to know that whenever you would like to calculate anything or if you would like to have the function นะครับ you have to always begin the cell with equal sign นะครับ followed by the calculation expression so in this one suppose I say that I want to add the value in cell C5 to C16 นะครับ in the cell C18 I have to begin with equal sign นะครับ don't forget that I have to always begin with equal sign and then I just type the cell location to be added in this one for example in here I said I would like C5 plus C6 plus C7 plus C8 นะครับ plus C9 plus C10 นะครับ so one thing that you can see is that if you refer to any cell นะครับ if you refer to any cell once you finish typing the cell นะครับ the cell will be highlighted and if you refer to many cells in one formula นะครับ or one calculation each cell นะครับ will be identified by different color for example C5 in this example it's in blue นะครับ and the C5 in your formula shows blue color too, so that you can distinguish นะครับ okay. Somebody said that if we have to add many or we have to calculate many cells, do we have any other way in order to have the cell location instead of typing C5, C6, C7? Because if it is in C5215, so it is difficult to type and it wastes the time. So in here, if you would like to use a shortcut way นะครับ to refer to a cell นะครับ for example I want to add C11 to C16 more, I just type plus and then I use a mouse to click on the cell that I want to do, plus C12 plus C13 plus C14 like this นะครับ you just click like this. Okay, for the calculation like this you can have parentheses as you like นะครับ up to you. If you want to have parentheses, feel free to add it into your calculation นะครับ okay. But if you don't want it, just leave it like that นะครับ in this one parenthesis is okay. Next นะครับ you press enter, it shows the output to you. In this one นะครับ because in here it doesn't show the dollar sign, let me just change the format a bit. In order to set up the format of the cell นะครับ you can format them even if you don't have any values inside. For example, I will prepare นะครับ some other cells below this to also be formatted as a currency as well นะครับ I do like this นะครับ I choose the cells that I want and then I right click, choose format cells, and then in this one I want currency, no decimal points, with the symbol dollar sign as well. Click OK. So the format will be shown like this. But for the other cells that doesn't have any value, it will not show anything. The value will be formatted whenever we have the data. Okay. Now you know how to calculate the cells นะครับ for the basic calculation already. Keep in mind that every time when you have a function or a calculation, always start the cell with equal sign นะครับ otherwise if you say that you have C5 plus C6, you can't do it นะครับ without having equal sign, you can't do like that. But if you type everything by yourself, C5 plus C6 plus C7, you can see that in here it doesn't work นะครับ you must have equal sign first. How to add? Okay, I have a question that how to add the data or how to add these numbers together. Okay, you start the cell with equal sign first นะครับ and then you just enter the numbers that you want to add or you just click to choose a cell. Okay, like this นะครับ okay. Is it clear? Is it clear, Diraj? You know how to add all the cell already, right? If you have to add, let's say 5.3, sorry, 5. If you want to add 5 with 3, they are constant number, right? Not the cell. You just type equal sign 5 plus 3, and then you get 8, something like that. Okay. So Viet, I will explain to you next for your question in the chat box. Now just a little bit more นะครับ I want you to notice something a bit. In the result นะครับ for adding นะครับ in the total in C18 in here 16,673,500 here, you can see that in this cell นะครับ in this cell you see that it's the output 16 million, right? But original value for this cell is the calculation. So the way to know that it is a calculation is that you click on this cell นะครับ and have a look on the formula bar. You can see that right now on your formula bar it's a calculation. So you know immediately that, okay, this cell come from some calculation or some function in here. Okay. Same as the cell 8. The cell C19. I got like $8. $8 come from what? $8 come from this one, 5.3. So when you would like to check your formula, click on the cell and you can have a look on the formula bar. Or another way, in order to check for what formula that you've got, you go to the cell and then double click. Now the formula is showing in the cell directly, and then you can just like check whether it works or not, because some of you, when you see in the formula bar, it's a bit small, but if you double click on the cell, you see just like bigger view. Okay. All right. Now it is the time to answer the question. One of your classmates asked me that he did something like this. He add all the value, but the answer show just all hashes. Hashes look like this. Right. Okay. So this one. Okay, let me just see. What sharp hash value? Hash value is another. Hash value is another reason. Let me just talk about this one first. If you see hashes like this, it means that your column is too narrow. So let me just show you a bit. This one means that your column is too narrow to display the output. To display the output. When you see this one, there's nothing wrong. The things that you have to do is that you just widen the column, so that you can see the correct answer, the full answer. Okay. So now the things that I get, your classmate said that it shows the answer as hash values. That one means the wrong calculation that you got. Okay. I'll let you just like share the screen to me. Viet, would you mind to share the screen to us so that everyone can see what happened and how can we fix the problem?
Yes, but I think you have to unshare first. So
okay, I stopped sharing already. Then double click the cell. Let me just see. Okay, I know what's going on. Now, okay, everyone, please have a look on the cell C18. You see the calculation, right? It's the same as my one. Then it should be okay. When you get when you calculate like this, or when you sum the value like this. But how come his calculation shows the error? Press enter, please. Okay. Hash values here means that there is something wrong with the values that we've got. We will analyze what's going on. Viet, can you go to C5, please? Cell C5. C5, that is C9. Okay, C5, double click. So you can see that if you see in the formula bar, what you see is $1,250,000. Okay. Now let's switch to my screen a bit. Viet, I still want to show my one, and then I just like show yours once again. Let's see my C5. What is inside the formula bar? It's 125,000,000. You see the difference? So the reason happens is because my one, I get the dollar sign here because of formatting the cell. Okay, but his one, he typed dollar sign straight away. That is similar to this one. my cell J2 here. When I type, it is a text. Text is non-calculatable value. That's why when he typed the formula here in C18, it shows the error and said value, means that there is some value error. Okay. Right. Okay. So Viet, please copy this data and use it instead that I send it to you.